The American dream means to the immigrants to come to the United States looking for justice, liberty, job opportunities, and the pursuit of happiness. Today, I'm going to tell you what the Mexican dream means. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members, distinguished guests, I'm going to tell you my story, how I passed from a scarcity context to an abundance context. First time the American dream knocked at my door was back in 1986. I was 20 years old. And at that time, I was living with my parents in a cozy 3-bedroom townhome south of Mexico City. In those places that we call, like a small subdivision that we call colonias. When you whisper, everybody know and hear what you whisper. And they are not gossipers. They just have outstanding communication. I remember that time. I was working for a private small bank as a bank teller. And I was with many dreams to achieve. But it was hard with that small salary, just enough for my living expenses and to help my family. But I have a girlfriend that I want to marry. And I need to look for another option. And for that, I decided to go to the United States, but driving my car. And on weekends, so Thursday night, driving 14 to 16 hours from Mexico to Querétaro, to San Luis Potosí, to Matehuala, to Ciudad Victoria, Matamoros, cross the border to Brownsville, Brownsville to McAllen, McAllen to Laredo. Once you get Laredo after 14, 16 hours, get my car full equipped. Wheels, tires, sound system, speakers, car stereo, and all kind of gadgets that you can imagine. Also, buy the latest electronics, fax machines, answering machines, VCRs, voice recorders, caller's IDs. I packed my car full of things. I could fit a hamburger. Then drive back to Mexico all night long on Sunday to be Monday morning at my job at the bank. Then sell all those stuff for a profit. First time, I made a couple $1,000. It was good. But then I decided to do it again 6 months later. And then another time, 3 months later. Finally, I ended up doing it in monthly basis. 2 years later, one of the vendors at Harlingen offered me a job to be assistant manager for a tire store called Pueblo Tires. I was so excited. And then I was calling my girlfriend in daily basis. And then I called her and she picked up the phone. Hey, my love. Hey, how are you? Say, guess what? I got a job offer here in the United States. And she said, really? And I said, yes, you know what? I'm going to stay here a couple of years. I'm going to save money, and I'm going back to Mexico to marry you. And she said, no way, Jose. Or we both go together, or you come to Mexico to me. They said, are you accepting to marry me? Yes. Aww. Okay, I'm going back to Mexico. Let's prepare the wedding. Boom. I came back to Mexico. We prepared our express wedding, February the 4th, 1989, I married her. We went to the United States. 1 month after we arrived to the United States, I received a devastating call. My mom passed away. It was tough, and we decided to come back to Mexico because my dad was alone, sad, and depressed. And our Mexican dream frustrated. Then, second time, the American dream knocked to my door was 1996. My wife was expecting our second child. I was working for a plastic manufacturing company as a sales and marketing director for the international business and taking care of all the international business. And all of a sudden, I got an offer from one of my customers in Houston, Texas. And they say, Jose Antonio, we would like for you to join our company and come as a sales manager for the US domestic market. It was, again, the American dream knocking my door. And I said, wow, that sounds awesome. I talked to my wife, and we deeply think about it, and we said, no, we have nice lifestyle in Mexico. We don't need to go to the United States. So I said, no, I didn't take the offer. And then this company said, well, why you don't open our business in Mexico? We improve any employment that you have, the employment benefits that you have right now, we can improve it. Better salary, more bonuses, and all that. And I said, well, sounds good. So I did it. 7 years later, the company came to me and said, hey, Jose Antonio, we need to centralize our operation in the Houston office. We can help you and sponsor you a visa, executive visa, come with your family, or you can find another job. It was hard to find a job like that in Mexico at that time. I decided to take the offer. So I moved with my family to Houston, Texas, 2004. In that time, I was really excited about the option, but first day in the office, my English was very bad. And first day in the office, one of my peers came and said, hey, Jose, may I ask you what is your background? I said, my background? And then she said, no, just laughing and said, well, what is your major? And I said, major? Once again, I was in trouble. Major, oh yeah, I have an older brother. And she said, no, what did you study? And I said, oh, yes, I have PhD. And she said, really? She says, yes, public high school diploma. And then just laughing and said, well, that was Jose back in 2004. 3 years later, I applied to be permanent resident, and I start my own business. I start going for the real estate investments. I start buying, fixing, and renting single-family houses. And I start doing that successfully. In a short time, I have 9 houses. Right after that, I got an apartment complex, 80-unit apartment complex in downtown Houston. I was doing very good. And then 2011, I applied to be a citizen. I was doing also a lot of community job. I was 10 years president for Radio Maria, a Catholic radio station all over. I was in charge of all the radios in Spanish. So I was quite successful doing all that. I can tell you now, today, that my passive income that I was creating with all those properties was higher than my living expenses, which for Robert Kiyosaki means that you are financial freedom. I think I still need more, but anyway, it looks good. Today I say proudly, I am Mexican, American, living in the United States with the best of the 2 cultures, speaking 2 languages, eating hamburgers, tortillas, chili, frijoles, and tamales. Well, my friends, this is not the American dream. This is my Mexican dream. Mr. Toastmaster.